Welcome back to National Sign Day coverage here on GoSycamores.com. Luke Martin alongside Deon Broomfield, Coach Broomy. It's always good to see you and the staff because it means it's football time. Of course, today just being a big day with National Signing Day. The emotions for you now knowing you went through it yourself as an athlete as well, to now see it from the other end to be a coach.
Absolutely. It's an exciting day for these kids. It's a day that they'll always remember. It's the day that you chose a school to represent you and your family for the rest of your life, so it's an exciting time for them.
I'm sure there's even more excitement for you guys as a defensive staff because the good bulk of these guys in this sign day class are going to be guys that you're going to be coaching with and going to be seeing a lot come the spring and ultimately the fall.
Absolutely. I think with the guys we're bringing in up front, the guys at the second level and the guys in the back end, they're all kids that are fun to be around. They're always smiling and they're competitors, so it'll be a fun time to coach these guys.
Knowing you lose someone like Rondell Green in a leadership aspect of it, how crucial is it to know that the time you're going to get upcoming, and not just being in Matthew, who we'll talk about here in just a moment, but to try to get that room, because that is a big loss just in terms of somebody not that just played, but in that leadership factor.
Absolutely. Anytime you lose a senior that played as many downs as he had, it's going to be a challenge, but we got guys that are going to take that challenge and run with it. And that's what you think they take away from that, being in a room with Rondell, is that you expect him to lay the foundation, and he did that. So the expectation is there, and, those guys are going to feel it. So I'm excited to work with them and get them to that level.
Let's talk about Matthew Griffin, who you add to this class, somebody that you were able to help and recruit and get here. What was it about him that jumped on your radar, and why he's a guy that you wanted?
He's a complete kid. You go around that Story program, there's not a bad thing to be said about that kid. He's a leader on and off the field, and you go around him, he's a quiet kid, but he's a competitor when he gets on the field. And then you look at his size, he's a long kid, and that's what we transitioned to, is getting guys with length and athletic ability. He possessed those traits, but you get around him, he's a really competitive kid. You get him around his twin brother, and they get going, and you can see it between those two guys. So I'm excited to get with him, and, he's a smart kid that'll be able to catch on fast, and, he'll have a chance to help us out.
Being able to catch on fast, knowing that it is going to be a jump when they ultimately get here, what do you kind of try to do as being, of course, their position coach, but to try to get them in? Because I don't want to use the word ease them in because really when they get here, it's really full speed ahead.
Absolutely. We'll get them here in the summertime, and that'll help out a lot as far as learning the terminology and just getting up to speed from the physical aspect of the conditioning. But the playbook, we'll implement that starting in the summertime so they can get here in fall camp and be ready to roll. But the best way to do it is put them out in the fire, let them practice, let them get some experience. Then you can teach them from that.
I'm still a young guy. You're still a young guy too. But you've been a part of different programs. You've been a part of different seasons. I feel like this is the first one I've been a part of where I've never really seen a hunger for a team to just get back and wanting to play again. Knowing that hunger is there, how would you describe that hunger with the group you guys see? I know you're not necessarily coaching them in practice right now. A lot of it is weight room work, and ultimately you'll see them in the spring. But to know that it really seems there is a consensus that no one wanted the season to end, nobody was looking forward to time off, and now everybody is just itching to be able to get back and play.
You don't have to, as a position coach, you don't have to provide motivation. You know what I mean? It kind of left off a cliff, and now these kids are ready to keep going, which is exciting to see. Nobody's, complaining about lifting heavy weights. It's all, hunger and motivation to keep working and proving people wrong. And that's the biggest thing that you see from those guys and moving forward, that, they're going to be hungry, and you don't have to provide any motivation. You just got to kind of lead the way.
What are you most excited about your room specifically before you get the spring ball?
Just like you said before, getting guys to replace Rondell, that's going to be fun. I want guys to step up to that challenge and embrace that role of being a guy that we can depend on every single down. So that's going to be pretty fun to coach and get that out of those guys.
Well, Coach Broomy, I look forward to it. Thanks for the time. Congratulations to you and the staff on this sign day, and look forward to catching up with you over the next couple of months.
Likewise, Luke.